All right. Welcome to Off the Rails podcast. With us today, our guests are Rob Holloway and RED. Let's give them a nice round of applause.
Hello.
We also have our producer, Molly, and we also have my lovely daughter-in-law, Lynn. Let's give Lynn a round of applause. So, welcome. You
Thank you.
guys kind of know what goes on with this podcast. So, the first thing we're going to do, Molly?
Are we?
Welcome. Yes, we are.
Now we're back.
I know. The funny thing is I always start too late, and now I started too early.
You start way too early, and we are late, and I apologize, but we had some technical issues and just chatting. And what is Lynn, is that you?
Maybe. Let's see. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, much better.
Okay. There we go.
It's coming in. It's
Again.
coming and going.
Oh.
What is that?
A washing machine?
A heater.
That's better.
Is that better? Okay.
Freeze yourself.
Yes. Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it's not, come on, you're out there outside DC. It can't be that bad. What's the temperature outside?
It's like in the 40s.
All right.
So, yeah.
Tough it up. This is show business, honey. All right. Like I said, so we have Rob Holloway and RED with us. And I think the first thing we want to do with Rob and RED is put them on the hot seat.
Yeah, this one?
Yep.
It's the hot seat! Wow, yeah!
She's bouncing. Look out.
It's the hot seat! Hot seat! Off the rails!
Here we go. All right. Welcome back. Go ahead. What you got? Any hot seat questions?
I've got some hot seat questions. Let's see here. How about when you're old, what do you think children were asked to tell you stories about? Ask you to tell stories about?
It depends on if it's my child or not. My child does not want to hear my stories. She will not want to hear some of the stuff that mom did when she was younger and got away with. But other people's kids, sure, I'll tell you what kind of shenanigans I got into. What it's like to be a female in comedy, what it's like to be a female in construction, what it's like to be a female coming up from the 70s. I'm dating myself right now. Yes, I'm old. From the 70s into where we are now and all the changes that have happened in the world. Because I can't admit to some of the stuff I've done. God, I'm trying not to eat meat on Fridays right now for Lent, being a lapsed Catholic, to make up for all the shit that I did through my 20s, 30s, and 40s. Can I swear on this podcast?
Fuck no.
Good to know.
Go right ahead. Say what you feel.
Little fucking late now, isn't it? Oops. All right.
Mhm. Dang it.
Language.
So I'm hoping nobody asks me about my childhood with my siblings, because they're kind of assholes. You know?
Oh, I know from time to time you have a brother and a sister, and y'all.
You're one of the few
sometimes
friends of mine that
getting
knows
along.
that.
Sometimes you get along. Well, I know. I remember that you and
Yeah.
your sister, when y'all are getting along, everything's great. And
We're not.
sometimes, yeah. And then
Yeah.
your brother, that's a whole nother story.
Oh, my
So-
brother. Yes, that's a whole other. Yeah. So, those kind of things. That's what I'll get asked about. How about you?
Probably just my travels. Been to 17 countries, every state but 3, almost every town in the states that I've been to.
I have to know what 3 states you haven't been to.
You have to guess.
I would say Alaska
Mm-hmm.
and Hawaii.
No, been there. So Maui, Oahu, and Kauai
Good for you. Let's see.
several times.
Can you give me an area?
Northwest, Washington and Oregon.
Washington and Oregon. Okay.
All the other ones I've been to.
That's great, man.
Now, been to. That means we could have driven through them.
Driven through.
Well, most of them I've worked. I mean, I've
Well,
worked
he
them
has.
all.
He has worked.
And I've worked all over those states. So when some guy says, "You never been to my town," and I go, "Okay, where are you from? Prestonsburg?" I'm like, "Okay, that's exit 35 off this freeway. There's a Walmart that's in the corner. There's an old Walmart. There's a Long John Silver's that is always looks empty, but there's people there. It's right down the street from a gas." And they're like, "How do you know that?" I'm like, "I've been all 2.5 million miles driving. I've been."
I mean, but you must have like a photographic memory because I can't
Right.
remember some places I've been. Oh, I was there. Yeah, there's film of you there, and
Right.
I can't
Right.
remember being there.
No, he will have to.
Photographic,
He
yeah.
will have to remind me where we've been. You remember that place that we ate the blah blah? I'm like,
It's got
Okay.
a moose on the side, this
Okay,
side,
I'll
and this
believe
and
you.
that. Red background. For sure.
See, you got a little bit of a drawl there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
just a smidge.
Just a little bit.
It's better when
Right.
he's drinking, which he
Or
never
tired.
does, or very tired.
Or like when he imitated someone from the South,
right.
then man, we can
Yeah.
fall right into it. But like,
Yeah.
you got
I
a
grew
little
up with
bit-
that, you know.
Yeah.
I'll do brewski if you want. I do brewski.
Oh, love it. Oh, it's very sexy. I love
Very
it.
sexy. I love you so much.
Yes. Well, that's another thing about these two, like dialects, and you do a lot of great impressions.
Yeah.
So hopefully, maybe sometime within the show, we might be able to get you to do a few
Yeah.
things
I
for
do
us.
dialects, languages, impressions, all kinds.
What's
of stuff.
funny is people don't know that he actually knows some of the things that he does. So he was studying Mandarin.
你小姓么名字？我小Holloway Red. You know,
So when Asian
Oh.
people meet him and that comes out of his face,
that's
they
not
are
supposed. That
shocked.
language is not supposed to come out of that face. That's what they say.
Well, wait, what did you just say in Mandarin?
你小姓么? Well, I said officially, what is your name? And my name is Holloway Ray. 你小姓么名字？我小Holloway Ray. Oh, 非常好. You know. So it's just, it's just.
Is that the harder one? The Mandarin's the harder.
No, it's,
I don't
all
know.
languages are, to me, they're all the same because you're using the same words. They're just mixed differently. So, for example, like the word ego, right? You
The
know what an
waffle?
ego is, right?
Waffle, right?
Right. In America, it's a waffle, but in Japanese, it's the English language. Ego ga.
Oh, okay.
And then, so they're all the same words, they're just jumbled differently and they mean different things, but it's the same because the human mouth can only make so many words. And then each language, you have to think about the food and the climate. So Japan is very, sumimasen, ego ga mekanamasu ka. They're cold and they eat a lot of rice and they're cold. And so they talk, but
How many languages do you speak?
maybe 6. And then the Russians, they're drunk. They're very, they're
Sounds like my
drunk,
grandmother.
right?
Erica Shoemaker says that
And then,
you have a very poor Russian accent, William.
right.
I
And
do.
then,
Yeah.
Latin.
I'm Russian. I
Right.
don't know.
Right. If you do Latin from Spain, it's different from Latin from Mexico. It's hot. They're tired. Buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? Damn, it's hot. They're,
Oh, sometimes it's
So-
a little more down
but
like
but
that.
that's LA.
Yeah.
That's LA.
That's LA.
But it's the food and the climate. So what are they eating? Germans, Liebstandarte Ostregriga. They're very
They sound
Right.
so angry.
They're
all
pissed
the time.
off. They're drunk.
Yes.
They got a lot of sausages in them. They're pissed. So and then
All that
Chinese
sauerkraut.
Chinese is a song. 你小姓么名字? So it's
Well, you remember we had a show where we were talking about the different types of Chinese, and I was telling you one
Right.
of them was nice and one of them was terrible.
Yeah.
And Mike Doll was here.
Oh,
You
It's
said
about-
you were saying the bad kind of
The
Chinese.
bad
He's like,
kind
no,
of
I didn't mean
Chinese."
it that way. I meant like
Right.
No, because one of them's
Oh,
more
God.
lyrical like that.
Well,
and the
there's-
other song,
there's
the other
the-
one's on your-
Well,
it's a little
there's
more-
about 170 different dialects. So it depends on there's a area in China that there's a lot of people from that area that leave there to come here because it's a very restaurant based society and they have a restaurant based language and it's a very different the Beijing one and the Shanghai and I'm learning, but it's
Well,
just,
let me ask you: if you ever go to a Chinese restaurant, do you order in Chinese?
sometimes.
Do
Well,
they really hook you up good when you?
no,
do
they
that?
just like, oh, fish. They just shocked that they know it. They go, Igorren, which is 2 people. Igorren. Fish. And they'll just do, and there's that heater again.
right.
Lynn.
Oh no, it's not the heater. It's the garage door opening.
Okay.
Well, wow.
Oh, gotcha.
But it's just very different. Like Mugu Gai Pan isn't the way that they say it. It's Moi Gu Jaipan. it's mushroom
It's the
and chicken.
Americanized
Yeah, so it's
version.
dumbed down for us because
Right.
Americans they can't
Right.
even speak
And
English.
it's funnier to say
Muy-
Mugu Guy Pan.
Right, but it's mogu jaiba.
Oh,
Are
okay.
you talking about how people move here
Right.
because of restauranting?
Yeah,
We did that. We did a gig. I'm trying to think if it was in Michigan or not.
I
But
didn't
I
mean to
met-
drag that out.
Met a truck driver, and he said, "I'm a truck driver. I travel all over. I try to get food from the area." And I was in Detroit and went to this. It's not the best area of town, kind of shot out and whatnot, but met a really cool Middle Eastern guy, and he had a restaurant. It was the most
I remember.
delicious restaurant. And he goes, "Can I ask, of all the places you came from, your country, war-torn country, and you came here, why did you come to this city?" He goes, "Because it's the most like home." Like, wow.
Right.
Ouch.
I
Well,
remember
I
that.
think there are a lot of Middle Easterns in that Michigan area. I think Dearborn, Michigan.
I see that a lot. though,
It's
too. I don't-
mostly
all over that state,
people
really.
from the Middle East. Yeah,
Right.
all over the state. But talking about speaking the language, I lived in Greece for a year, stationed in
okay.
the army, and I go into a Greek restaurant.
Kalistal.
Yeah.
Right.
So I go in and Kalimera. And then I will always order poto colada palacalo. And that's orange drink, please. I don't really care for orange drink. I just love saying poto colada palacalo. And,
Right. And then the
they
guy
love
takes
you.
his shirt off. And
No, they love you. They hug you.
Oh
And then,
man,
like,
I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
right.
no, it's true because we were in the town.
This
and
orange drink is great. But, oh, right. Yeah.
the Americans called it Yanitsa. And that's not the correct pronunciation, but that's the Americans say.
Right.
And so I tell somebody I was in Greece, and they say, where? And I say, Yanitsa. And they're, Yanitsa?
Yeah, you need to figure out that language.
Oh, Yanitsa. You got to do the right.
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 Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's crazy.
It's all
but
different. But it's all like you see, it's all the same wording. We can't make any different sounds. It just jumbled a different way. And
so
mean
but you were
different
talking about trying not to eat meat on Friday during Lent.
Laps Catholic.
Listen, me too. And the funny thing is, it's still weird to me if I accidentally eat meat on Friday. I try not to do it. And I mean, just yesterday, I went to make a BLT, and I'm like, all right, and I get all the ingredients together, and
And then you remember.
I had no L.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, how
Okay.
important is the L really? And
not.
I made the
It's
sandwich
not.
without the L. It was just as good.
Right.
It's like the L is superfluous.
No B. Then you have a
No,
problem.
right? You got a
Right.
problem.
Yeah,
You
you got a
can do
problem.
without everything
Yeah.
else.
Right,
The L is
right.
more important than the T.
I love the tea.
I love the
Are you
tea.
kidding me?
No.
No salt
Okay
and
with the
pepper
tea.
on there. But to make a
Yeah.
long story short, so I ate it and I enjoyed it, and I was like, oh shit, it's Friday.
So like a week ago, my office ordered Jimmy John's, and normally I would get like a Vito, and I'm like, I want the
Mhm.
meat, and I was like, oh blah blah blah, and somebody goes, oh so and so's getting cheese, because
Oh, tuna? You can get a tuna?
yeah, well he got a tuna, and and then that reminded me because I would have gotten my sandwich, not said it, and went, oh shit, well now I got to eat it.
Right.
Instead, I'm like, fine, I'll get a cheese. So I get the cheese.
weird, it
It was
stays
so
with you.
unsatisfying, but it was so unsatisfying.
this
It's-
Jimmy
it's-
John's, of
cheese
course, it's
sandwich?
unsatisfying.
Yeah,
He
right.
kills animals.
it was just not good. But then they're walking around the office, and the guy walks past that had the tuna, and he goes, "You know what's the worst? Burping up tuna into your mask."
Oh,
And-
oh my
The
god.
tuna and the onions that are normally in it
Oh.
too.
In the mask, though. So at least he's
Yeah.
not sharing with everybody.
Right,
Right.
keep
He's
that
just
mask
true.
on.
eating it himself.
But that whole no meat on Friday, that was just Jesus looking out for his fishing buddies, right?
Conspiracy.
I just eat
Come on,
ribs on
The
Friday.
little miracle he did with
Or
the
or
five
the
loaves.
Pope looking out for his fishing
Did you
buddy.
make ribs on Friday?
Yeah, I made ribs on Friday.
See, again, I ate a vegetarian lunch, came home,
had
and
ribs?
he
I
made
made
ribs,
ribs.
so I ate his ribs. So
Are they those North Carolina type ribs? How did you make them?
I ain't even have a picture.
I took a
he
picture.
does
of the
he does
ribs.
food
Oh, I
porn.
love
He's
I
all about
do,
his cooking and making food porn.
Yeah.
Which when he
What's
cooks,
food porn?
Oh, so
you
there
take
it is.
pictures of your plates.
So it has. I make my own dry
my
rub.
goodness, here, let me.
I make my own dry rub,
they're pretty. They're pretty.
and then
Yeah. See, look
It
at that
turns-
meat.
it
Look at that
turns
meat.
into-
That's some beautiful meat.
and then
It
it
is
turns
beautiful.
into its
Yeah.
own sauce, and then I make my own sauce too. And then I had
If you ever do a
carrots and-
cooking show,
oh,
he
there-
would come and
there's-
talk on a cooking
there's
show.
my
Okay.
cook, so-
Oh, well, wait.
Mhm.
I had to do.
and,
Lynn,
and the bones fall off. So
do you
Tom will get
remember
into
when we
that,
went to see that monument that my uncle had during the Civil War? Not my uncle, my great grandfather.
Yeah, the fall off the bones.
Fall off the bone. We stopped at a rib joint, and the
Hmm.
guy, he was Middle Eastern, and what did he say? Hey, come, my friend, it's fall off the bone. Was it fall off the bone?
No.
But aren't they
No.
Not
supposed
even
to
close.
they're supposed to have a little tug.
No, this was
This-
not cooked well.
No,
at
But
all.
I mean, to me, if a rib is cooked perfectly,
Well,
it's got a
see,
little bit of tug. It's
when
not
I-
just you
when
pick
they-
it up and the bone falls out.
No, I
No,
mean
not like
when you
that.
first take it out of the oven or something, yes. But once it sits, then it's going to have it seals back together.
But that guy was a freaking liar, and he overcharged us. It cost a fortune, right? It wasn't that great.
Yeah.
I got to make you some ribs.
Yeah.
Once you eat my ribs, you'll stop eating.
Oh,
Okay, I don't eat that kind of meat generally.
you don't eat
That's
meat
too,
on the bone?
That's too heavy. That's too heavy for me. His ribs I will eat.
Okay.
Like I don't know, Lynn, if this happened to you when I got pregnant with my child. Like certain things did not appeal to me.
Hmm.
I used to eat prime rib. I loved prime rib. Medium rare. Oh, just beautiful. It just nauseated me. That kind of heaviness. And stuff. I never got it back. I will not order meat like steak out anymore. He can make me steak at home. He knows how I like it. And he seasons it. I eat it out and it tastes like wet dog. It's the weirdest thing.
Dog.
I understand
like
that.
wet
'Cause I don't
dog.
like
Like you-
steak at restaurants either. No.
Same. I will not eat steak at a restaurant.
I'd say
Yeah.
50% they don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Wait,
But I like when Tom cooks it.
Lynn, now that we have you here,
Now we'll
you
stop.
have to tell them the story about when you found out you were pregnant the first time.
What
You
story?
want me to tell it?
I'm,
Maybe I'll tell it wrong.
I was like 26 weeks pregnant and didn't know until
26
You were gonna
weeks.
have a baby in a toilet, girl.
Yeah.
I did not know. How
I
did
have
you
a
not know?
friend that didn't know until she gave birth.
Are you from Vietnam or something?
I was just
a runner.
small. I didn't really gain any
Okay,
weight.
no, that's okay.
And she
soon as you
said,
say that,
she said
yeah.
she felt some kind of like a pressure when she was running.
Oh.
So she goes to
Oh.
see the doctor. My son comes home from work and she said, I think you better sit down. And he's like, what? She said, I'm pregnant and it's a girl and it's due in 4 months.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I just handed him the ultrasound and was like,
There you go.
And then there came little beautiful Isla.
yeah.
Funny.
Yeah.
Okay, no, as soon as he said you're a runner, then I get it. I'm not a runner. So my sister laughed at me when we were younger. She's like, you're going to have a baby in a toilet. And I'm like, really? You're not that dumb. Come on now. I've been on birth control. Really?
Baby in a toilet. What a terrible thing.
Don't you know those girls that go to prom and then,
Right.
yeah.
I've been trying to motivate myself to run, so I started stealing.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's real running. That's not.
Yeah.
You got anything good? You can
Couple
steal
things.
something small, not too
well, the
heavy.
TVs are lighter now, so it's
Oh
easier to run.
shit! Yeah, the flat screen. Right.
Yeah.
So Tom about the ribs says anyone can boil the shit off a bone. You need to tug on them.
That's
Tug on the
Oh.
bone.
boiled.
No, you don't boil.
No, he said anyone can do that.
Right.
Like
Oh.
that's not how you cook ribs.
Well, I like a good rib. I'll tell you that right
Me
now.
too.
So yeah, if y'all said you hey, we can have Will over. There you go.
And
Let's have
I
some
made
rib.
a rib roast the other day too, and then I made
You
crab
guys are
cakes.
making me hungry.
Now I see why you keep
No.
them.
And then
Right?
It's good for something.
Oh, and I made shrimp scampi the other day too.
Yes, you did.
Wow.
Scampi was very good.
If I got a picture of that.
Dude, seriously, food porn. That's what it's good for. Because
Food
we've been
porn.
together 15
Oh,
years now. So
Shrimp scampi.
All right, we're out of
Oh,
here, guys. We're
nice.
gonna go get food.
You can
Nice.
see the individual.
as he's fingering his phone.
You can see the individual.
Yeah,
Open that up.
beautiful.
Open that up. Look at that. It's delicious.
So, Lynn, are you much of a cooker, chef, or whatever? What have you?
No, Ben cooks dinners usually. He's into like watching the TikTok videos, like the
Oh, okay. Those easy, quick things.
clips. Yeah, the quick clips, and then he'll try to do that. So he's obsessed.
Yeah, but he's done some. pretty
He's good, very good.
Very good. I taught
I
him.
think he's offended with my cookings. I'm not that great of a cook, so he took over that.
I'm a good cook. He's just sick of it.
Yeah.
Because I won't do big pieces of meat unless so I'll do a chuck roast. I'll do a pot roast in the slow cooker. I did that so many times that now he's sick of it.
Yeah.
He calls me the ground beef queen
Yeah, I'm sick.
because I
Yes.
love a meatloaf,
Yeah. Yeah.
burger, an onion
Oh,
burger,
yeah.
shepherd's pie, just
Ooh.
anything like that because I feel safe with it. He taught me how to roast a chicken, which is beautiful. But otherwise, I don't touch weird pieces of meat, and I don't eat pork. So I'm like, you want pork? You make
Yeah,
it,
fry
you
it.
buy it, you do it yourself.
Why don't you
Yeah.
eat pork?
It's hard on the body. It's chemically hard on our body. Still bacon. I'm all about the bacon. Don't be.
Made you bacon.
What
today.
about ham?
I don't
No,
really like
it's,
ham either.
it gives me. I went off.
Navy bean ham soup?
I have to pick out the ham. ham
Still
and
tasty.
pork chops. I miss pork chops.
Oh, I love them.
I had been off of pork for about 10 years when I met him. We moved in together. He loves pork. He made a pork chop. I'm like, God, that looks really good. Took a little bite, and my body went, I don't know about that. Went for the second bite, and my jaw tightened like if you're going to eat a lemon and you know it's sour. My body went, don't. I will make you projectile vomit. Don't.
Really?
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't.
So
do
he
pork.
just doesn't agree with you. You like pork, Molly?
I love bacon. I'm pretty much the same. I grew up not liking pork chops at all until Tom cooks them. I can eat them the way that he cooks them, but I typically don't like pork, and I will choose any other kind of sandwich meat over ham.
Okay.
Because
I'm not a
ideally,
fan.
I would like us to move out of this state, maybe back to his home state, and get a hobby farm and like have a pig
Mhm.
and name it like Kevin Bacon or something. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. I don't want to.
Would you eat bacon in front of him?
Yeah, and I'd be like,
I did down south.
Tom says you're the hamburger helper in real life.
no, I don't do. Okay, I was brought up on Hamburger Helper with a father who was big into meat. He was a meaty dude, and I did not know until I was in my 20s that you made Hamburger Helper with 1 pound of ground beef, because my dad would make it with 3.
Oh,
All this meat and a random effing noodle.
Noodle.
That
Yeah.
you're like, what is this?
It's just meat. Eat it.
Yeah. So she's more strict than I am. She, I think, only eats chicken and fish.
Okay.
Whereas I will delve into beef.
Yeah.
It sits a little. Like if I eat beef, that's the only meal I'll eat in a day. Because it's just.
That's the only pork she'll eat. I mean, she'll eat my ribs, but I'll make
Yeah.
like a crab
You
crusted
can have
cod or
beef
something.
ribs as well too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a different approach to cook
Yeah.
though.
But I mean, I'll make myself sick on his because they are so good. They are like.
Well, you ate
Yeah.
the
I
half
look
a
like-
rack.
I look like a lesbian. I'm sitting there.
'Cause I made
Yeah.
gumbo yesterday.
They're good.
I made gumbo yesterday.
But see,
What'd
that
you
doesn't
put in
appeal to
it?
me.
Shrimp and andouille sausage and homemade onion and roasted garlic and okra, and some peppers.
Nice.
Erica says she
So-
likes how bacon always gets the exemption.
Mhm.
Except I have one friend who will eat everything except bacon. It makes her physically ill.
I tried to do turkey bacon for a
weird.
long
No,
time,
that's
and it just
Worse
doesn't
for
cut
you.
it.
It's too much sodium. It's really
Yeah.
bad for you. Turkey bacon's horrible.
Turkey itself.
You know what's
If
the
you
worst
saw
thing
it-
in the world though is the fake bacon. Like
Right.
it's
Sizzling.
leathery and
Mm.
it is so bad.
It's meat like fruit leather.
And it's
but
not
not
even
quite.
close to bacon. And
No.
you want it to be, and it's so
Well, you know
It's
how
so
they have
bad.
the what do you call it? The shit that the beef that you chew. What do you-
Oh, jerky.
jerky.
Mhm.
I found in that aisle they have bacon, like a bag of bacon. It's not hard like bacon. It's kind of soft or whatever. It's like, oh God, it's too good. It's expensive too.
I bet.
I ate a bag of bacon.
Well, you know what's even better is Costco sells. Now we're gonna just be on a food rant.
I was
This is
just
gonna
gonna
be
say,
a food
Well-
show.
Welcome to cooking
Costco.
show.
Right. Sorry,
Costco.
I derailed it.
Off the
Yeah,
rails
go
cooking
off the
show.
rails.
Sells this bacon that comes in a package and it's all like kind of laid out to where isn't all bacon kind of pre? Well, this is pre-cooked to the point where you put it in the microwave for like
Mm-hmm.
seconds and it's done and it's crispy, awesome bacon. So you can just put 5 pieces in and make yourself a sandwich and not have to fry up a whole pound. It's really good.
I would rather fry up
It's
a whole
amazing.
pound.
I've seen that
in case.
partially cooked bacon. Is
I
it
hate
good?
frying bacon because I'm so impatient.
We don't fry.
We
We
put-
put,
I put
it in the
mine in the
oven.
oven. me
Yeah, my
too.
mom does that too.
Yeah,
I'm
you
not a
don't
fan of that
I cook
either.
it in-
It's not
I
the
like
same.
I cook it like
Yeah.
a restaurant. I put it.
Yeah, and then I take the grease and put it in a little thing when I make some red beans. That's what I render my vegetables in. You
We
gotta have
save the bacon grease
yeah.
too, but we always fry it.
You know,
See, and I'd like to do that, but we don't use it enough.
it'll clog up your sink, but then we'll take and eat it and clog up our arteries with it. What a way to go.
Delish.
Yeah.
Fake bacon is dog food fried in butter. Says Tom.
Mhm.
It's bad. We tried it because we had friends that were vegetarians.
Oh, okay.
We were going to make them something that normally had bacon. We're like, well, just try this. So
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, I've been hearing that some of this stuff like near Whopper or whatever, some of this stuff that is not meat is pretty good or
I've
pretty
heard that's
close.
good. I've had vegetarian like burgers
The
that are good. I've
Impossible
never
Burger?
tried the Impossible Burger.
It's good.
grown
It's
in a
good.
lab. Girl,
Have you
it's grown in
tried
a
it?
lab.
Have you-
No.
I mean, like when I go in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it. And then I step in Burger King and I'm like, I'm not getting that shit. I'm getting Whopper.
Right.
No, I got it on accident at Burger King, and it's good. It tastes just like the real thing.
I've heard
the
it's got the
texture?
same texture.
Really?
Yeah, same texture, everything. I couldn't tell the difference really.
What
It's
about,
just
is it high in fat? Is it got a lot of crap in it to make it taste good? Or?
Toenails.
I don't know.
It's grown in the lab. That's why I had a friend that was interested in the fact that I don't eat that kind of fast food, and he was like, "Look at that Impossible meat." And I went to their website and looked at it, and I was like, "Okay, it's grown in a petri dish. No, I'm not signing up for that.
I'd
That's
try
not
it.
normal."
That's okay. I'm okay with that. Tom says off the rails switch to on the grill. I kind of like that for a name. We should do a spin-off show. On the grill.
On the grill.
I'll cook something every
I
week.
like it.
Let you guys try.
I like it.
I'm
Ooh,
down
that
with
sounds
that.
anyway.
amazing.
That sounds great.
Let's do it. And you and Tom could have a cook-off. He likes cooking too.
And we don't care. We'll sit back and just eat.
And I'm
Just eat.
I'm very competitive. Nobody will beat me if I'm competitive. No way. No way.
You hear that, Tom?
I'm liking this
No way.
idea.
It sounds like a challenge to me. Sounds like a challenge.
We can do it. All right.
No, but I have to tell you, like, one of the Christmas gifts that Ben wanted for Christmas, he wanted the anti-gravity salt and pepper shakers, and they just you put the peppercorns in, you put the Himalayan salt in,
The hard stuff.
and then it's battery operated. You just turn it upside down and it grinds it. It's awesome. And so when he sent me,
And then you grow
clip,
another foot. That's right.
when he sent me a clip of it, I'm like, I'm gonna get some of those for myself, and I bought a set too. You guys must use them a lot, huh?
Yeah, every day.
Every day. It's great. I love it.
Awesome.
Let's have another hot seat question.
I was literally just gonna say, well, we plowed over the hot seat questions.
Oh, totally. With
did,
food.
we did one, and then we got derailed again.
My fault.
I don't even know where to start. Let's see. What animal would be cutest if you scaled it down to the size of a cat?
Ooh, what animal?
Anything's
That's a
cute. That's
great
not-
Anything's cute when it's little.
a rhino.
Yeah, what would be the cutest?
I've seen so many penises. Aren't you? You want to be a penis, but you're not there yet. Someday. I won't name names because Will knows
Looks
some
like
of
a
the people
penis,
I
only
dated.
smaller.
Oh,
That's the best.
Just sit right next to your man
Right.
saying that.
I'm
too.
not
No,
saying
that's
about my man.
that's the best insult. Some guys
Right.
say, yeah, it almost looks like a penis, only smaller. That's very good. Sir. And then you go, what? And then you just go, thanks. And then walk by.
Touch him.
That will eliminate anything. By the time he figures out what's happening, you're already in the car.
Tom
What's the
says
next hot
he's like a wrestling villain in a cook-off. He'll just toss sand in your dish. That's mean.
You can maybe
You
you
would
would want
wanna
to
win
up and
fair.
up. Yeah, you got to win fair and square, man.
I think a horse would be the cutest, scaled down to
That'd
the
be
size of
cute.
a cat. Like a tiny little mini horse.
But then it would be
I would
very
go-
tempted to put a G.I. Joe on it.
I was gonna
every
say,
day.
Oh.
Shit
then
on
you have to find
every-
even smaller things to
put
fit
on
on it
its
to ride
back.
him.
I would do
Yeah.
a giraffe. A giraffe.
Oh yeah.
Because it would still have this really long neck. And
Yeah,
just
but
be kinda
I think that'd be so fragile. I'd
What
be
about-
worried
Like,
about.
when it walks because
Yeah.
it's all lumbery.
What about a polar bear though? They're adorable.
I still
And
say
they're so
rhino, so that way you can go.
Polar
go
bear's
get that kid."
adorable. A tiny, like, charging rhino.
Right. Go get that kid. Get that kid out of that bathroom.
Oh, you're so
Oops, the door
cute,
down.
charging into the
And you-
Yeah.
like you're a big rhino.
Just running.
Yeah.
Then bang into the door. You. I told you to go out of the bathroom. Okay, Daddy.
What about you, Lynn?
I'm not sure. Maybe a zebra.
Mini horse.
She's
Put
on
another
the
G.I.
horse,
Joe on it.
like
And
me.
like the horse thing. Yeah.
I like that.
So
Now,
cute.
they have
Put a
miniature
long-haired Barbie on it,
horses.
so she's like Godiva.
Yeah.
I was always fascinated by zebras as a kid. They were always my favorite.
Me too. I
Lion's
think
favorite,
everybody
too.
Likes, I think everybody likes the zebra.
She heard that. Lion's favorite too.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I heard her laugh at that. Yeah, sure.
What's the most epic way you've ever seen someone quit or be fired?
I did. I have one.
Yes.
So we have this thing called hot schedules. Most restaurants have hot schedules,
Mhm.
and you can leave shifts, pick up shifts, drop shifts, leave messages. And I had enough of Cafe Hollander. So I
You're
had
still
put-
sore about it.
Oh, I-
Names. Not being subtle.
What happened?
So I wrote, "I'm out like a boner in sweatpants. Bye." And they said that was the best I still see people from the. Oh my God, we all because everybody reads it. I'm out like a boner in sweatpants. Bye.
Like a group chat to the.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can send to servers, man, everyone,
What caused you to quit like that?
because they're very disorganized. If they could train a pig to wait tables and save 1 penny an hour, they would train pigs to wait tables.
I want to see pigs wait tables.
No,
And if
pigs
they
are
get-
on the menu.
Right. Well, they're not people oriented.
Our special for this evening is my cousin.
Right. They're inept. They're just the most inept, They're busy moving the salt and pepper shakers. Hey, my food's taking 45 minutes. Well, like, hey, get an expediter back there and get that food out. Well, wait,
He used
I've
to be a
never
happy
been
guy.
there, but I
Now
know
he's
right
an
where
angry
they are.
comic. Now he's angry dude.
Well, that's living with you, probably.
Is that
No.
because of Cafe
No.
Hollander?
No.
Yes!
Service
So-
industry.
You really owe them your comedy. career.
Lowlands.
Mine, ironically, is also a restauranting experience because I worked at a place in Milwaukee called Ed DeBevick's.
I loved that place.
So when people
You remember her?
No,
She
I've
was
only
kinda
went there like
rude.
twice.
She was
They
kinda
were
rude.
all
I was
rude.
not rude. I was sassy.
Sassy.
See? That's why I could tell Mark I would bounce on your lap because I would do that for guys. I would do that for lesbians. I don't care.
Well, I'm sure they tipped you well for that.
They did.
Absolutely.
No, lesbians are like canoes.
Oh,
Because you get
You get
better
what?
chance getting tipped by canoe.
ew.
Really? I didn't know. I
Yeah.
have never heard that
Okay.
lesbians didn't tip.
But
Very
it's the thing about women making less than men, though. Think about it. Gay
No.
men make a lot of money.
Wow,
Women-
$2 on the 100.
Women
thanks.
might not make as much. That's where that kind of lies.
Yeah, but I've never heard that lesbians don't tip.
I hadn't
They're
either.
very cheap.
Really?
Gay guys, though, oh my God, they're
Oh, this is coming from somebody though that
Well, you
Was
flirted
a
with them.
bartender.
not even that. Not-
bartender in LA in the 80s.
Right. So this place called the Palace, which is on basically Hollywood and Vine, it had 9 different bars. I got to see different bands every night. I used to see Red Hot Chili Peppers before they were big. A Kid Crew. Every night was different. You'd see the Eurythmics, Red Hot Chili Peppers, whatever. And so then they were experimenting. Like on Wednesday night, it was gay night. It's beautiful looking dudes going, dude, seriously, you could have any woman. All the waitresses like, oh my God, this is the best, And then they would leave you like 20 on, like they'd buy Corona and leave you 20. You're like, dude, I'm not even flirting. Go ahead, brother. Or they'd be just completely straight looking, straight talking. Like, dude, he's mopping tonsils with that dude who looks, what? And then lesbian night was Thursday night. They came in mad, flannel, pissed off. You'd hear the change jingle. Oh, thanks for the 35 cents. Thanks.
Someone's bitter.
And it's,
He is big.
yeah.
Apologies to the good tipping lesbians out there.
That's
I
right.
Don't agree with this.
That's right.
My sister's a lesbian and tips very well.
There you go. There you go.
Especially
If
when
you're
you do
watching,
this.
sis, this doesn't mean you.
So here,
Somebody's got some issues.
Tom
Yeah.
says
I
he
don't-
would scale me down from that last thing, which is a little disturbing
Aw,
tiny of
that's
that.
kinda-
Scale you.
Tiny little Molly.
Yeah, but
Oh,
is that
scale you.
is that cute or is that
Aw.
disturbing? I
Because he
don't
can
know.
take you and put you in his pocket and be
Yeah.
like, it's a pocket.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like
You could
that.
run around the pocket. It just.
Yeah, I don't think I like that.
I know. I think that's
So, we
you
also
said
got-
animals, and then I guess humans are animals, but come on, Tom. What the
We-
hell's wrong with you?
What's the next hot seat?
We also got distracted. She didn't get to tell her
wasn't
story.
done.
She's not done.
I have a vagina. Let me talk.
Yeah.
Please
I'm
don't
Michael
bang on
D.
the table, guys.
Regardless, when I worked at Bebex, when people would leave, they would have to, at the end of their shift, sit and we would whip cream them with the cans and just obliterate them, and they would leave. I had a very good, beautiful, gorgeous friend who lives in LA now, who did not want that to happen, and it was a random Sunday, and I was like, "Oh, it's his last night. Awesome." And this random dude showed up, looked at me, and handed me an envelope, and it was a big manila envelope, and inside was his shirt that he normally wore that was singed and cut through, and then there were Polaroids of him laying in a
Oh, yeah,
street, bloody, and he said, "Bruno is dead." That's how he quit. He was not going to show up for his shift, and he acted like his character had died.
Wow.
Oh my God.
He's putting them.
That was
putting them to death.
that was commit. That
That's
was
interesting.
real to what you were
That's
doing.
funny.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
remember that.
quit once when I worked at a Sizzler restaurant. Ooh, I was young, and they told
Before E.
us
coli.
this is down in New Orleans, and they said, you have to work Mardi Gras Day, and I'm like, I'm not working Mardi Gras Day. I said, well, everyone has to work, and I'm like, wow. I guess this is my last day because I'm not coming in on Mardi Gras, and I regret that I did that because
Why?
I don't know. I
Wrong.
didn't have a job after that.
Minimum wage flunky.
Right.
It's
But I mean, like,
Yeah.
The day that I spent, I probably I probably could have just spent half a day, enjoyed it, and then went to work, and then went out afterwards. But when you're young, you don't care
you don't
about
think
that
about that stuff.
nonsense.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sizzler. Do they even have them anymore?
I
Still?
don't think so.
I don't
they
either.
No.
were in
Right.
trouble for a long
Yeah.
time. I was a
Back
cook at
to
Sizzler
food.
once.
Back to food. Here we go.
Back to
Sorry.
Here
food.
we go.
We've
Well, it's
got,
lunchtime.
we've got a comment from a Jeff Lambton who says he worked third shift at a gas station for an unapologetically racist boss who went on an N-word
Oh.
tirade after being robbed. Says a few days later, I typed out a sign reading, "The owner of this store is racist and refuses to hire people of color and other ethnicities. Please do not spend your hard-earned money at this store," and signed my name. I made enough copies to put on every gas pump in both doors. Would you believe that he fired me? I would have put the signs up and quit. But
why?
Well, that's terrible.
yeah.
And Jeff, stay in school, man. You would have got a better job than a goddamn working at
You
a
could have
gas
worked at
station.
Sizzler.
You could have worked at Sizzler, right?
Right? There you go.
You know Jeff, don't you?
I do know Jeff. And I'm sorry because his name is Jeff and that's my brother's name and every Jeff I know is an idiot.
Ah. except Jeff with a G.
Oh, Jeff with the
Jeff
G is
LaFleur.
Jeff LaFleur.
He's
Love
a sweetheart.
Jeff LaFleur.
Yeah, he's not a
Love-
jerk at all.
Love Jeff LaFleur.
Shout out
Is
to
it
Jeff.
GEFF or GEOF?
GEOFF.
It's like the Jeff from Toys R Us.
Gorf. Gorf the flower is what he said.
I
So,
wonder what the ethnicity. I cannot talk today. Ethnicity is of that spelling, like the spelling of
I
Jeff
think
with
that
the
sounds
GEO.
British.
I
Maybe
think it
Sweden or
is.
I think European.
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
Listen,
go
almost.
bomb Germany today. Yes, quite.
Mhm.
Are we going to do the rest of the show in a British accent?
Yeah, we can do
I
that.
don't know that Cockney. Mine is not that good.
It's whatever you'd like to do. The whole point is to act like
Act
much
like
more,
I'm stuck up.
more better than everyone else.
Well, I am better than everyone else. I don't need to have an
Not the
accent to do
Americans
that.
always trying to save us out of a world war. Let us do our own thing.
They're very crass people.
You never know. I mean, you know.
You know, when I was in the Falklands, I was shot at and I couldn't sweat after that. So
Well, why not?
What?
So you in the
I'm not.
military.
I'm
Andrew.
confused with what
Prince
accent that is,
Andrew.
William.
I don't know.
That's extraordinary. Well done.
Extraordinary. What?
That's extraordinary. Well done. Were you in the military?
I was in the military.
Ah, quite well. Excellent.
Yes, of course.
Well
and all that
done.
sort of thing.
That's brilliant.
It's very brilliant.
Yes, quite.
They overuse brilliant too.
I
They
was
do.
just going to say, I
Everything's
feel like they
brilliant.
should use
They
brilliant
use
a lot.
Brilliant. Everything's brilliant.
Right.
Beer in a
It burns
bottle.
when I pee. That's
Brilliant.
brilliant. Try the fire extinguisher.
Well, what about some good British food?
The only thing they
Isn't
make
that
is
an
fish and chips.
oxymoron? Good British
Like
food.
when I lived in England, the people were really great. The weather sucked and the food sucked, but the people were great. But yeah, most
Yeah,
except for
kidney
beef
pie,
Wellington,
kidney pie.
except for beef Wellington and maybe fish and chips, the food's almost inedible. I mean, it's just like, thank God you're not. Hello, you're having a great time. I am, but this food is awful. But I like you.
I love
Right.
delicious food. What is this?
Right.
I
Exactly.
never tried haggis when I was over there.
You're not
Oh.
missing it
She
anymore.
brought back.
I brought a
haggis.
can of haggis.
A
Did you?
can.
I was at a
Oh.
gift store and they had a canned haggis
No.
and it had like this like very decorative box around it. I was like, I have to buy this just as a gag because everyone was telling me to try it. And I was
gross.
like, no, but here, you try it. I brought some back for you. It's
Okay.
still to this day in my parents' kitchen.
Is
I
it
think it's
moving
gonna
around?
explode.
I
It's
think
gonna
it's going to
explode.
explode someday.
It will.
I went to Scotland my
Ugh.
senior year of high school. That was 2003. It's still in the
Oh,
can in my parents'
The
kitchen.
box is going to start imploding because
Yeah.
the can inside is getting puffy.
Oh.
Yeah, we looked at it like a couple
The
years
stomach
ago.
is
And we're
gonna
like,
eat
is
the
this still?
kitchen.
We were trying to look for the expiration date on it and kind of like very carefully handling it.
What is it like? It's
It says sheep stomach stuffed with crap.
yeah.
I mean, it's just
Like, what's it stuffed with? It's like
herbs
Fried
and
vegetables
just,
and meat,
ugh.
and
and
I don't
meat
know.
and oats. I heard.
Yeah.
And probably a person. I mean, who knows? I mean, it's just it's
Ugh.
awful.
No, bring it
Just
back to
looking
food.
at it, going,
I want to try haggis. I want to try.
Oh, go to Cafe Hollander. I'm sure they serve it.
Oh my god. Well, you know, you'd also think maybe like
Actually,
Irish food. You don't think? Let me tell you
No,
something.
some Irish food I like.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
Right.
amazing because if you guys have ever gone to County Clare,
Their
We-
root
we-
soup.
the
Their
root soup
is
and their
that
cream
is
of
everything.
potato is even better. Well,
See,
let me
I
tell you
can
about.
make cream of potato.
Let me tell
That
you
root
about
soup.
the root soup. So I went.
Back
on
to
a-
Food.
back to cooking.
Food.
Back to food.
I went on a first date, and they
The
brought
food
out the
show.
root soup.
Was it the only date?
It was. Let me tell you what happened. So they had a little shamrock on the
In sour cream.
in sour cream, and she sent it back. She goes, "Oh, I hate sour cream," and she shuddered. And I said, "Well, there's no way she's gonna let me come in her mouth.
That's right.
Let's make that meal a go. This date is over." Sorry, I had
What
to
happened?
throw that in.
Oh, that's a good one.
No, that was actually, and this is, I mean, I do that as a joke, but I went there when my son was graduating high school. I brought my ex-wife there. She might be listening. And she sent it back and she goes, "You know, I hate sour cream." I'm like, "We haven't been married in I don't know how many years. I don't remember what you like and don't like in food," but she sent it back. First of all, I'm not one to send food back because
No.
if you send
No.
something back,
You don't know
they're
what they're
gonna,
doing. It with.
yeah.
Do you
I
remember
mean,
the Texas Roadhouse story from several years back?
Little
Well-
bit of pubic hair.
well,
on the
what
side.
was that movie?
Yes.
There was a
Waiting.
Waiting.
Waiting. Yeah. Once I saw it, I'm like, no, I will just accept it. It's okay. Or maybe have them take it off the menu. I'm not sending something back. I'm not doing it.
No, we are in a circumstance where we both waited tables for years.
Vicky
We
says
both
she's
done
listening.
service industry stuff. Hi, Vicky. But
Hi,
what happens? We'll go on the road. We've been on the East Coast and we've been in Florida. He's done it here, where our wait person disappears.
bad.
The service is so bad. He's gotten up to
I
go
walk
get
in the
himself a
kitchen.
soda.
I
He'll
walk in the
walk into
kitchen.
a soda
What are you
station.
doing here? Well, I need another drink and I need some more silverware and this and that. Like, well, what are you doing? I'm evidently hired.
We're evidently table 10.
I get the tip
over
for
there.
this table. too.
Cafe Hollander, Orlando.
Wow, is it really that bad?
I had
Yeah.
was
Well,
that Pennsylvania that I had a soup.
Well,
a
how's
soup
the
soup.
food?
Well,
Well, depends
let's
on
say
the-
this. I've worked in restaurants so long, you know what to expect and what not to expect. And we've done comedy long enough to know when someone's screwing around. So you go, dude, come on. Give me what I need. I need a spoon. I need this. I'm waiting 12 minutes for a greet. What's going on? You know, pre-busting and that kind of stuff. So it drives you nuts. Just like your expertise, comedy and banking, you see stuff that's like, dude,
What are you
get,
doing?
get your account number out. You don't have your ID? You want to cash a check with no check?
So, so you've been in a car line on the north side.
Yes.
Lots of digging around in the line. You're like, you know what you need when you
Your
get to the
ID's
window.
written in crayon. How's this possible? So, yeah. So,
Well, I don't work actually in the bank itself. We're mutual.
but
fund
you know what I'm
services.
saying. So,
But like, how many people have sent in checks that haven't been signed,
Right.
or
Right,
the
right.
written in numeric amounts don't
Right.
match? It's like,
right.
how idiotic are
Just
you?
dumb stuff.
Or they will say, "Liquidate my account," and they don't give you an account number or a fund. We
Right.
can't have
Right.
over 200
Right.
different mutual funds. How are we
I
supposed,
was supposed
to know?
what you're doing.
Well,
Right.
I have to take, if they have their social security number, I can figure it out.
Right.
But most times they
Five.
won't do that. It'll just give you
Right.
the last four digits. So I have to go and look up their name and address and then find a social security number.
You
there.
have to do extra steps.
Oh,
in
it's
order to do it.
crazy.
So we're on the East Coast.
We're in
After a shift-
Orlando
Was
at
that
the,
Orlando?
it was Sanford Ale House.
Okay, so I got soup. She brought the soup out. She puts it down. She walks away. I pick up the spoon. It had fudge on it from somebody having like a brownie sundae.
Oh God.
I'm like, you
oh,
didn't see
God.
that?
Right.
Like it was.
And she was doing meth or something in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
I mean, that
With
would
the
ruin
boys.
my appetite.
Yeah.
No, it just made me infuriated. I'm like, pay attention to the steps of service, please. For the love of God.
Oh,
And
we,
then-
we,
It'd
we
been
had
funny
a,
if she just took out a little rag and wiped it off.
Here you
Oh,
go.
I've had people
Oh,
do
right.
stupid stuff.
but
like that.
we had a meal at Red
Oh,
Robin over
no.
the summer. Okay, now
Oh, yeah.
granted,
Oh, this
it's
is
COVID.
Red Robin.
Love Red Robin.
Right.
So we're at Red Robin. Granted, it's COVID, so we got all the social spacing. We got this, we got that. We're sitting with our kid. We order stuff, and our waitress never came back. Like she brought us drinks, I think, and then we had ordered an
Disappeared.
appetizer. Disappeared. All of a sudden, the back door is open, and we can see, and we're like, "What is going on back there?" And I said, "Somebody's wire." We found out that the restaurant was in fact on fire. Our waitress left, never came
Right.
to tell us. The
And
manager came up and
She
said,
left you to die in the
Right,
fire.
and they mention, we've taken care of your meal, but there's a fire. Everyone has to leave. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I want some to-go boxes.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care.
Yeah.
Now I'm mad. I mean, our waitress is back there go,
I go, oh, I'm so frightened. And it's
Like,
like, it's
you
a
don't have the
bush
sense to go,
fire out
hey, there's a
back.
fire.
So how big was that tip that you left?
No, we
He
gave
did-
a
It was
couple bucks.
it was
to
negative.
We gave a couple bucks to the bitch that brought us to go boxes.
Right,
We're like,
right,
here,
right.
because you hung on there and you're
Right.
trying to help all these other tables get out of here, but you're
She
saying
probably started the
leave.
fire because she was back. It took her 12 minutes to come by and just bring our Coke. I'm like, it doesn't take that long to get a Coke.
I
and-
can't stand bad service. Seriously.
And I've worked
And
at Red
we've
Robin.
all worked.
I've
in the
opened that Red
service business.
Robin in Brookfield. I opened that store.
Okay.
So I'm like, I know what you're supposed to
So
be
we
doing. You're
scare
not doing it.
managers because we use the word steps of service,
And
and
this and
they're
that.
like, "What?
Well,
You know?" It's like,
Inside, yeah.
yeah.
And they're like, what?
Vicky still hates sour cream, by the way.
2 minutes.
Of course she does.
Have you guys ever walked out of a restaurant
Remember that?
because the service was so bad?
Yeah, we've walked out because we haven't gotten
Oh, yeah.
greeted.
Right.
Like we've been
Oh,
sitting
okay.
there,
And they
we're
go,
like,
come
"Look."
on, wait. No,
No.
I'm
No,
done.
that bothers. Well, you know, I had an issue where I went to a pizza place. And it was Super Bowl Sunday, and I ordered the pizza on the phone, and then I went into the place, and I was telling them my name, about to tell them my name, and she goes, "Excuse me," and then she answers the phone, and then she takes an order. I'm like, okay, and then the phone rings again. She takes a second order, and on
Oh,
the
no.
third
No,
order,
no, no,
I
no,
said,
no.
"Hey,
I'm
put them
sorry.
on hold. I'm standing here in front of you." And she goes, "Well, then you can wait." And I said, "Go fuck yourself." And I turned around and I walked out. And the manager ran up. I'm sorry. I'm like, fuck you. I'll never be back here again. Is that how you treat people that are standing right there in front of you?
Right.
I already
Right.
called. I was already on the phone. Put them on hold and take care of me.
Well, you can take care of like one, maybe even two, but I would say one and then put the next one on hold and
I
take care of the
wanted
person
to
in
be.
front
I
of you.
wanted to be patient. And then the thing is that restaurant is now gone.
Yeah.
They're building a building where that restaurant used to be, and that's what you get.
Well,
And that's-
Eduardo's.
not to say-
Eduardo. They leveled that building. Did you see that?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
over there.
they've raised.
There's a building. I live right behind there. There's a building coming up
No, he
called
lives,
Timber
he lives on
Towers.
the east side.
No,
Oh.
there were two Eduardos.
Well, I was
Yes.
talking about the one over
Yeah,
there.
you're talking
That
about
one's
Brookfield.
gone
He's
too.
talking about
Yeah,
the other
I'm
one.
on the east side. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to love the salads. I used to love
I
their
never ate
food.
there.
What?
I always wanted to eat there.
Tom says he got an Applebee's sample platter and it came out frozen and
Oh,
Not
frozen
shocked.
and raw.
Applebee's.
yeah. I'm not
They
surprised.
microwave everything, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Well, that's why they're in trouble. That's why they've lost most of the stores across the
Well,
country.
were you with him when that happened? Do you
No.
remember? Oh, this is pre-Molly. You're not supposed to talk about your dates.
I can't
before
remember
Molly.
the last time I went to Applebee's. We used to go there like late at night to have a couple drinks and then like maybe
An
their French onion soup.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love
I
their
liked their
veggie
French
pizza.
onion
Do you
soup.
remember that little veggie
Yeah.
pizza they
Or the
had?
tater skins.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
Those
the
are good.
tater
Yeah, yeah.
skins.
Yeah.
The commercials are great. It makes me want to go when I see
Right.
it.
But then
Yeah.
you go and
And
you're
you
like,
see the
"Ugh."
picture.
It's
and you see
bad.
like,
And I don't know
"Ew."
how much you've traveled. You've traveled
of
for
course.
Oh, yeah.
comedy.
Yeah,
I know,
But-
I know where
but
you're going.
we-
Yep.
We will be in North Dakota. We will be in Wyoming. So we want some regional food. What do you got?
We want to eat what the locals eat.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
we're talking to the chick behind the counter at the hotel, and she looks at us and goes, Applebee's. And I'm like, every shitty small town has an Applebee's, and that's their highlight of a restaurant.
I can go to
No.
the grocery store, get a frozen dinner, and heat it
Right.
up, and it's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, we found restaurants in Duluth. We found restaurants
Iowa
in
and
St.
Florida
Louis.
and New York.
You know,
and
all these little places that have that kitsch food that is inherent to them. So
the
when-
loose beef burger.
the
and
loose- that's what I was thinking of. Iowa.
So you usually, the way I travel, and she got to learn this too. So because I've traveled so much across the country, I would go to the local places and see where there was a crowd. So if there wasn't a wait, I'm like, I'm not going there. But there's a crowd. There's at least a 10-minute wait. Is that all right? I'm like, oh yeah. And then,
Yeah, I bet they got sweet tea there
Mm.
too, huh?
well, south of the Mason-Dixon they do, but not north.
No.
Mhm.
But I'm like, okay, so what is this? This is a loose beef burger from Iowa, and it's like, okay, it looks
It
weird.
wasn't manwich, but kind of.
It
And you're
was
sitting at
Manwich without the sauce.
yeah, and you're sitting at this
Dude, that
this
was good.
diner thing, and it just that's all it was. There was no tables. It was literally a counter all the way around, and then there were two little girls because I felt like they're 12. And there's just this big hot vat, and they'd open it up and
That
put
was
it in.
good.
Do you want fries or tater tots? And I was like, "Oh, tater tots!"
Right. But
Never get tater
Yes.
tots.
eat local. Eat local and eat what the locals like. You know, you go
Right.
to Indiana and you get a pork tenderloin sandwich. You go to Louisiana, you get Cajun.
No,
you
wasn't
get
wasn't it St. Louis that you asked from the stage?
oh. So this made me so
That was
angry.
ridiculous.
So I was working St. Louis. Yeah, you just came with
I
me,
just
right?
came with.
Work St. Louis. A ball plate. You St. Louis
When I
ribs. This
still
and
went
that.
along to have sex.
And-
That's
and-
all I did. I just went along.
And
to
he
get banged.
finally left after I came back to the room. Like, get out of here.
You whore.
What? Why did
I'm
your
busy. I'm busy.
Why
Can
do
you
you-
come back in 5 minutes?
why did your face look like it's melting?
Oh my
I don't know. He missed. I don't know.
Oh
Is that a
my
facial?
God.
Just
So
not in
anyway.
the eye. Not in the eye.
So I got on stage, and I said, "Where can I get really good St. Louis ribs?" And they just
They all just nothing. Not
every
a
show,
peep.
4 shows.
Four
And I
shows on
even
Friday
asked the
and
front desk
Saturday.
person, "Where can I get good St. Louis ribs?"
Applebee's?
Applebee's. I'm like, I'm gonna kill everyone in the city.
We ended up
Walk
eating
down
at
to-
an Irish
Right.
restaurant.
I was so
At
pissed.
random Irish pub
But
we
see,
ate at.
that was before Google on the phone.
Yeah, that was
You know,
pre-computer.
Screw you. I don't ask.
Pre-computer in your
Oh,
hand
there
where
you
you could
go.
go to Yelp and go.
Got it.
Listen,
Let me find
And I
it.
knew
That's
I
right.
had to be close.
This kind of racket's not good for the show.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if you realize that
No.
you're doing it, but
No.
Well, look at you,
Well,
William.
I was in between my rhino.
no.
But yeah,
We went to St. Louis, and I don't think we got any food there.
you know,
But we got a
it's-
recommendation from a local where to go to drink. So we went to
they're
Cherokee Street.
drunk.
So we went
Okay.
to an Irish pub when I was in St. Louis, and we ate really good there. And then we went to a place just over the bridge that was like a breakfast place. It was like a little diner, and it was so cheap and reasonable, just eggs and stuff like that. But when you find a place like that, it's great because you
Right,
don't have to
right.
spend a lot of money.
I just thought of a place in St. Louis that we went to. Mama's on the Hill, the
Oh,
Italian
yeah,
place
yeah.
in that
Yeah.
neighborhood.
So we go to this. We get. Was that a recommendation?
I think I researched it because I got tired of
Okay.
talking to people.
So we go to this little restaurant. It is on a corner. It's not quite one of those. It was somebody's house and they turned it into something, but almost like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was a well-established Italian restaurant. We go in, and
Mama's on the Hill.
Mama's on the Hill, and the owner, the guy whose name is escaping me, say Vince or something like that, who's behind the bar, older guy. He
know.
comes over. He sits down next to me and is
No, you're mixing the stories.
Am
Up.
I mixing my?
You're
pieces?
thinking Dubuque.
Oh, right.
And
Oh,
right.
Dubuque!
Mama-
Okay.
Don't even get me started on Dubuque.
That's Mario's.
Okay.
Mama's on the Hill is
Yeah,
the
Mama's on
Italian
the Hill is
place.
good.
The
It was okay.
those guys would talk like that because they
I
was
love
choking
those
on
guys, yeah.
because they was choking on gunpowder.
Yeah.
Would you like
Mhm.
a seat?
Okay.
You know,
No, I like
Mama's on the
Mario's.
Hill was a high end plate. This
Oh,
is
that was that place.
pre baby.
Okay. I don't remember pre-baby.
All right,
Lynn,
no,
do
I
you
wanna
remember?
hear
Once
about
you
this
start to
guy.
have babies, I have no memory.
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
About the guy signing up for you at the
Oh,
Mario.
Mario.
Yeah.
Yes,
Go
Mario.
back to Mario.
Because it was mid-afternoon on a Sunday because we had a Saturday night gig and we were eating before we left town. And he came out and it just, yeah, so blah, blah, blah. And he's sitting, Rob is sitting across from me and Mario's over on me and he's just, with one of these. And I was like, you sassy old fuck, you go ahead. You get your little groove on.
It's Italians. Come on.
It was
I mean,
adorable.
that's-
Okay, but the best part was his wife was in the back making the food.
Yeah, well,
I was like, that's kind of shitty.
That's
Okay.
Italians. Come on.
He was
Remember Saturday-
adorable.
SNL did a thing on that. Remember with Dana Carvey when they're coming in, sitting in the restaurant, and he's just about sexually
That's
harassing her. I mean,
okay,
just,
but
if-
this is a after the Me Too era, mind you. Okay, so think about how guys
so
get
recent.
handsy.
Yeah.
Okay, guys get handsy. I grew up with my dad's friends like that, so I don't.
Now I want to go to
care.
Mario's.
I don't care. He's dead.
Yeah, how
I
was
don't
the food,
care.
by the way?
It was good.
Really?
It was really good. Yeah, and we've been back there since, but we found
More
out
food. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
So I just realized we've been talking for almost an hour and we still haven't gotten into like an actual interview. We've been doing
No.
hot seat questions
I-
and going off the rails.
All right.
We've been talking food. This is the food interview.
This is the food. It's been great. I've enjoyed it.
Something different, you know.
Yeah.
Any
Well, I
comedy
forgot all
questions you
about
have?
poor Lynn. What do you? How are you doing over there? What do you like to? Where do you like to go to eat? Hard times.
Um, no. Well, yeah, I do like hard times. We like any kind of food. I
Do
mean,
you go out with 3 children?
no, because they're awful. One of us is boxing our food up to take home, like the whole meal. We're like, don't even bring it, just box it. Let's get out of here.
Right.
Or I'm trying to give one of them my phone to entertain themselves. It's a nightmare. They're horrible out in public. anywhere. Like
Oh,
or
we went to lunch
anywhere.
it might have been before you had the baby. So we're at lunch, and the lady turns to Lynn and commented on Isla and said, "You have a beautiful daughter." And and Lynn said, "Thank you." And then Isla, what did she say? She was talking to me, Mom.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Cute.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Adorable.
because I was gonna punch you and be jelly if you actually went out with 3 children. Because we go out with ours because we have to, and she's used to it, but she's become a dick where she wants one of our phones all the time.
Yeah.
Also gone from being a super great eater to a super picky eater. She's become Hawkeye from MASH. She picks up stuff and smells it and goes, "No, I'm not gonna eat it."
You've called your 7-year-old girl a dick. That's great. I love it.
I
There, you're gonna
Yeah.
yell at me? Have we met? You know me at all?
I used to call my mom a dick all the time. I get it.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So, have you guys done much work this year?
We actually worked
We-
twice this
twice already.
in February. Yeah.
Because y'all sometimes take these little tours where y'all go down to Florida during the wintertime.
Right.
Good time.
We haven't done
We
that in a
try.
while.
We haven't done it in a while. There's so much stuff closed, and it's hard for it to reopen, and who's working and who's doing this, and is it worth it? Because frankly, I lose money when we go because we take my van, we drive. I love when people think all comics fly. Did you ever get that where
Yeah.
you get flown somewhere and you get this?
No,
It doesn't work like that.
The
No.
tour
On
from
road
hell.
trip.
You
Oh,
remember-
God, yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
Maybe you get to a certain level and then they'll provide you with first class tickets.
Well,
right
we're
off.
talking. Well,
Right.
we're talking back in the '80s, they actually paid MCs, and I made money as a traveling MC, and I could make a living out of that. Then you got rid of the traveling MC, and then you had the house MC and stuff. But I mean, they'd fly you out the country. I mean, I was right on the cusp of that, right on the very end of that.
Well, I
But,
mean, we used to
but-
have.
but now they don't. You barely get a room.
Right.
You know.
Oh God! And then some of the rooms you open the door and you think there's going to be the body outline on the floor.
So
Or bed bugs.
Hiltons
Yeah.
and stuff because I'm
Ugh.
like, I'm not staying.
Or if you get the condo.
Oh, I won't
Oh,
stay at a
stop.
condo. I'm like,
Stop.
yeah, Hilton. Hello.
Yeah,
I
we
just-
won't anymore. I used to when I first started, I thought that was cool. I was like, hey, they got a place for us to stay. No,
If you stay at the condo, don't use the mayonnaise, no matter where
no,
you
don't
Oh
are.
my
look, don't
gosh.
look in the coffee pot.
Is this sour cream? Is it the shape of a heart?
Shamrock.
Shamrock?
Don't look at the
On the-
coffee maker. Why
Wait,
not?
why is that's not
Wow.
a shamrock? That's somebody's initials. Ooh, he was
How,
talented.
how about the
Ew.
condo in St. Cloud? You want to tell us about that?
St. Cloud,
Ah.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well,
Please tell me you went in the summertime at least and you go up there in the winter.
We've been in summer, spring,
Yeah.
winter.
yeah.
So basically, long story short, there was a comedy club that was down the street called Rum Runners. Decent room, but it would smell like beer and pee and shit, whatever.
Well, they all do.
Right. And then down the street, we got you in a condo. Like, whatever. So the condo was on second floor above 3 nightclubs.
Oh,
You hear
boy.
all night, till about
Mm.
3.
But then there was another. So there was an apartment that was the condo, but then there was the other half of the building on that floor that was being
Yes.
rented by college students.
Oh,
And they were DJing.
And they were DJing and
Oh.
having a party, and I was pissed because we're trying to get sleep.
That's
And I got up and threw on some clothes. And as Will knows, this doesn't look like this in the morning. Pretty. I put on the fancy face today, as I tell my daughter, fancy face.
she's beautiful.
I don't want my
without
daughter to
makeup.
think she has
She
to wear makeup.
complains. I've seen her
Fancy
without
face.
makeup. He goes, oh,
And
because
he went, "Are you homeless?"
Oh my god.
Oh,
Are
you
you
did
sick?
not.
your
No,
body's
because-
sweet.
like
Yeah.
after a gig the next day, and we decided to go have breakfast,
Oh,
and you're
okay,
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm not wearing any makeup. I'm like, you look fine.
That's what I gave a
You're
shit.
not
Now
wearing
I'm a
any
mom, Now I
pants.
don't care.
You look fine.
Just wipe
Yeah.
the jizz off your face.
But like
Oh.
I took off everything, hair's in the big bun, nightshirt on, and I walked across the hall. I would have sworn that they were having like a 50-person party in there.
With 50 chicks.
Banged on the door. Kid opens the door. He was like, "Red, what do you want?" I walked in.
Hey, Red,
They
no,
were-
Red, it's you.
Yeah,
He
Red.
knew
Hey,
you?
Red, what are you doing here?
Because
Oh,
he was at the
he was
part
at
of
the
show.
show.
He was at the
Right.
show.
Okay.
I walk in. There's 4 guys in this huge apartment.
And-
One's sitting playing a video game. And they have the music cranked. I'm like, I would swear you guys were at least fucking some girls in here. Do something wild. Turn the music down. We're trying to sleep. Okay, sorry about that.
But it wasn't just that. It was 3. We were also above 3 nightclubs.
But at least
too.
they stopped it too.
Right.
And
Well,
that was the thing
listen.
was the music went until 3, and I was like, no, we're not getting any
When
sleep.
did you stop being cool?
Oh,
The minivan, that's what did it.
I know when you said
Right.
that, I was like, oh, geez.
Since her
she
meth
gave him
habits.
till 3. That's still cool. Come on.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
do you guys travel with your daughter then? Like, how does that work?
Sometimes, you know,
Sometimes.
50-50. Now, when she was first born, for the first couple of years, she traveled with us everywhere.
my biggest touring year was the year I had her. Was
Yeah.
the
Oh,
year
wow.
She was
pregnant
with
to having her in the
casinos with
bucket,
us.
and we
In
just
the bucket.
she would be in the bucket, and I'd drop her at the edge, and I'd be walking off stage, and Rob would be like, "Where's our kid?" I'm like, "Bucket, don't trip over." her."
Right. Yeah. Coming to the stage,
Oh.
red, and she'd drop the
I just dropped
kid,
the kid.
get on, and I'd be sitting there watching her, and she, hey, Daddy.
We did a gig in
You know.
Vegas, and it was in a casino, but it was upstairs in the restaurant, and they acted
That's
like
Colorado.
Oh, you're right. That is
She,
Colorado.
she's
I
distance,
mixed
yeah,
up
she-
my
Yeah,
stories.
same difference.
10.
Yes. But we had to go into a casino. They acted like she was the second coming of a princess. She's on the move. She's on the move. She's going up the stairs. She's going
Kids
up
on
the
the
stairs.
move. Yeah, it's like
She's in a bucket. She's not going to sit at a game and play.
right.
Like, what do you? She's going to do?
That's the only place that we really had a hard time. And Potawatomi. The other ones did. Hey, great.
Yeah, Potawatomi was weird too. She again.
Well,
in
you
the
have
bucket.
that big green room at
They sent
Potawatomi.
him
I
home.
know.
We had to
Oh,
send
no.
him back home with her and leave our daughter with my elderly mother, which was not ideal.
Right.
But it was but when we played Colorado, I apologize.
We
the,
paid Louisiana Shreveport.
the manager wanted to be a grandpa so bad. He held our baby the entire time that I was on stage. He's like holding her, and he's like, "I want to hold her. I want this baby. I love this baby." And I was like, "Dude, my boobs are going to burst. Give me my child."
And not North Dakota, I remember that big club. And then Dickinson. And then, remember, they
Yeah.
Minot was, yeah.
No, people did not. For the most part, people didn't mind. It depended on the type of room. But again, she's in a bucket. What are you
In
gonna
the
do?
back. You know,
Now, Lynn, no.
Okay. Where does she stay then?
She stays at the hotel. I bring along my best friend's oldest son on
Oh, okay.
and he wants to be a nurse someday, which is kind of nice. And
And she plays in the pool,
and
or
they
she
go to
just
the pool and they hang out and they do
Right.
whatever together.
like we did Platteville, and did she come with us to Platteville?
Yes, she did. She sat in the restaurant.
Oh, that's right. So Platteville, it's a supper club, and they have the comedy room next door.
Oh yeah, Bill, right?
Well,
That's
now
what
it's
I
not. Then he retired,
Oh, did he?
Right.
and the waitress bought it, and now it's called Crossroads.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
and
gotta
So-
get back down there.
dude, high end food, really
Yeah,
good.
it's a good audience always.
But yeah,
Yeah,
we took her to
good audience.
Platteville on Valentine's night
Weekend.
to do a show.
Yeah.
And then she's been there before. You bringing your kid? Yeah, we're bringing
Oh,
the
yeah.
kid.
Yep.
And then
So the food's better now.
Again, COVID, because they usually have the buffet, so
Oh,
they're
right.
not doing a buffet.
Oh, they can't do the buffet
Yeah.
during
Right.
COVID.
They can, they won't.
But she had a fixed menu and it was delicious.
It was
But
good.
again, my daughter picks up a yeast roll, smells it. No, not gonna eat.
No.
it. That night, she had a
So what does she eat? Like chicken nuggets?
glass, broken toenails, you know, the
much.
usual.
No, the normal kid bullshit. Sometimes a hot dog, but very rarely, and then it's a kosher
burnt.
dog. Yeah. Cheeseburgers from Culver's, chicken burritos.
Oh, she's
from
kosher?
Keto Bar.
She
No,
has to stay kosher.
no, she's not.
You know I'm Jewish, right?
Me too.
That's why I don't eat meat for Lent because I'm Jewish.
No, no.
That was just a little bite.
Let's.
I'm going to Islam.
Oh God.
So
Definitely got off the rails.
yeah,
Please,
where did we work just last weekend?
Peru.
Peru, Illinois, at the Super
Oh,
Bowl.
I thought Peru.
Right. And so we worked here. So
Yeah.
she had to stay home because even though there's kids there, we got her to stay home. So
Well, when she has to stay home, you can bring me along. I mean, if I'm
if you
available.
want to come.
Our old pedophile Uncle Will.
Yeah, no.
No, I mean, bring me along to open for him when you have to
Right.
stay home.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. Well, it worked out because I was so desperate just for work, just to get out of the house because I have to stay with her all day for school. Right. So I originally said, I'll take a feature job. I don't care. He go, okay. And then last minute, like on a Tuesday, you get a text, Rob, call me ASAP. I'm like, oh crap, I got canceled. Crap. And then he said, hey, you want a headline? Like, yeah. Does Red still do comedy? Yeah.
Mhm.
So I doubled my money,
There
got
you
her,
go.
and then I had to do the logistics with the dog, the cat, the kid, this. But it worked out.
Yeah.
Sold some shirts, and I did mostly improv. I wasn't even doing material. I was just screwing.
Oh
with
God,
people.
he was
I was.
out of order.
I
No,
was-
my cousin has stepped up. Well, I don't know if you know my mom passed.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
Not that she was a help with my daughter anyway, but we have like virtually no family, but my oldest cousin has stepped up since my mom died. And like when we did Peru, I was like, "Can you take her overnight, please?"
Right.
And she did. So that was
It
nice.
worked out.
But then when we picked her up, she's like, "Thank you for the visit. I've had enough of her.
Right.
Here,
I'm good.
here.
Thanks for visiting."
And I call her no dose and coffee because she won't go to sleep.
No, she does. She does. No, our kid's a good sleeper. He's a liar.
I'm
Okay.
in the Marine Corps at 18 because she wakes up at 5 a.m. Hey, Daddy,
All
who?
kids
Up,
do,
up,
Yeah.
up.
No, I did that thing this morning where she lumbered into the room and I was dead asleep, and all of a sudden I woke up and I knew when I did it, I sounded like my mother when I was a kid. And I went, because all of a sudden you feel that presence, like
Yeah.
And I woke up and I was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, She didn't want to lay with me in her bed." I was like,
Well,
"Fine,
she's not standing there with
fine.
a sickle in her hand. so-
Fine."
Well, Lynn,
Yeah.
you end up with all three of them in your bed at some point, don't you?
2 usually at least.
Well, they're in Virginia. That's normal.
Yeah. Well, we try to like kick them out, and like we have locked the door before, so they can't get in.
And they're on the windowsill.
Well, yeah, right. No, our dogs need to go like in and out of the room. So it's like either the kids banging or the dog scratching. So we're like, screw it. Just open the door. Whoever wants to come in here, and then
We
get
got the door closed. Yeah, we had this. But we have a cat that
yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
The dog
Paws
would come
under
out,
the door.
and then
Yep, scratching, scratching, the scratching.
Is anyone happy in this house?
Meanwhile, we just want to go to sleep.
Right.
We're like,
Yeah.
we're just done. Just done.
Well, they've
So-
got 2 dogs and 2 cats.
We've got 3 cats and a dog and a kid and a really small flat. Really small.
Oh.
So it's,
Well,
yeah.
Well, she took on another cat when I was sick, so
No.
I couldn't
That
say
was
no.
funny. Yeah.
I think I'm going to get another cat. Is that okay? Can I
He's
get the
too sick to
NyQuil?
say no.
Tell them about your pets.
What?
Your birds.
I got birds.
She's got
We like birds.
Birds are dangerous, especially if you're going to commit crimes. Roll her up in the carpet. You know, I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Parents have 2 conures, and the one is a black cap, and he's got this big beak. He's a little scary because when he gets an attitude, he can bite.
I don't know what a conure is.
Apparently,
What is that? Like a
They're
parrot?
like a mini parrot. They're like this
Oh,
big.
okay.
But
Not a lot
I
of
guess
meat.
just
You wouldn't wanna
this
cook 'em.
last week, he was
I'm
on the
Southern,
floor,
bro.
and his dad went to pick him up, and he went to put him back on the cage, and for some reason, he bit him like on his hand.
Oh,
Little
And he's
lovey.
got just
Uh-huh.
a chunk
Oh,
out of his
man.
hand.
did it bleed? A chunk
Oh, yeah.
out? Oh, man.
Oh yeah,
Can you get
I think-
avian flu?
but
Bird
So-
flu or something from that?
Is that what Tom's got? The bird flu?
we have a cockatiel. His name is
Those are
Zim,
great birds.
and he's
Mm.
adorable. And he sings and just he says, you know, what a good boy, and he sings the Imperial March and
Oh,
the Addams
nice.
Family theme song
That's
and
awesome.
Superman. And for some reason, some random weird tune that Tom just made up and like whistled to him one day, and that's his favorite thing to do. It's odd.
They live a
he's
long
adorable.
time, too, don't
They
they?
all do. The conures will live for 20 to 30 years. I think
Wow.
the cockatiels are similar. We've
Do
got
they eat
2
the
parakeets.
same food? Or do you have to feed them different foods?
Do they eat a Cafe Hollander?
No. They eat,
Not now, after,
we
after
give
your
them,
review.
they're so spoiled. We give them treat dishes every morning. They get their lettuce and their fruit cut up and their nuts and their.
Oh, wow.
I have one that likes, what do they eat? Runts?
Nerds. Well,
Nerds.
Tom's, so the one conure, her name is Lady, very creative. And then the other one's name is Buddy. Very creative names. It's great.
I like them.
But Lady loves Tom, and she also has quite the sugar tooth whenever Tom's over there and he's having any kind of candy. She will run across both couches, jump across, and like sit there
Aw.
begging.
And so
So it's
nerds, she
Jonesy.
likes
For the candy.
nerds. Do they just fly around? Like you take them out of the cage and let them fly around?
The parakeets do. They're nuts. We have a parakeet named Brady. They're Gronk and Brady because they're both Patriots colors.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Brady is like a
Gronkowski?
hummingbird.
Very-
Brady
you're
flies
getting
like a
football,
hummingbird.
right?
He can fly like he
Then
can hover and he can fly backwards.
Wow.
I've never seen a bird fly like that before in my
The
life.
Matrix.
He's insane. Yeah, the other ones need their wings clipped because they're a little big and spazzy for the space. So they will freak out and just start. There's birds everywhere, and they're gonna.
You need a
Well-
pterodactyl.
They are kind of pterodactyls. I'm trying to teach them the Jurassic Park theme song.
My favorite movie.
Yeah.
Mine
I
is
mean,
Teenage Squirters. Go ahead.
If
sorry.
they're out, do they like when they have to use their restroom? Do they go like where they're supposed to go, or
She's the only
will they just fly and drop?
It depends. One of them will vary. She will sit there and like kind of let you know when she's got to go. You put her back in the cage.
housebroken?
She goes. We had a conure at one point that was potty trained. You could put him over a Kleenex or something and say "go poop" and he'd do it.
That's awesome.
Oh
Oh
wow!
my gosh.
So
How do you train a bird to do that?
he just did every time that this bird pooped, he would go, "Oh, you pooped," So
Oh,
he
yeah.
would associate that with, and then
Yeah.
he would just go poop, and he'd do it, and then he'd, "Good job, good boy."
Aw. It's all
Yeah.
about positive reinforcement.
It didn't take long either.
I gotta try that with my dad.
Good boy, good boy.
Good
So-
boy.
But so I think we should probably do the interview in the second
Second
half.
hour,
We'll
yeah.
just do.
We'll do
our-
the interview.
Well,
in the
we'll
second hour.
we'll do an around flip.
Well, we
with
kind
that.
of was interviewing about them going on
A little
tour and
bit,
things
but we
like
can
that.
get a little bit more. We'll do a
Or
part
just a
two.
listen to you.
Part.
Have we done an hour already?
What
It's over
kind
an
of
hour.
questions do you want to ask? Just ask them. Stop
Ask us
sitting
anything.
around.
We will answer anything.
So tune in on Wednesday at 8:00. We'll be premiering the second half, and we'll have more of an interview and some more goofy questions.
And some more cooking tips.
And probably we will talk about food some more.
I'm sure.
I'm guessing because
Right.
that's the theme, and I love it. Anything that you guys want to promote that's you got coming up, or anything?
No word
wanna-
yet.
I do.
No.
I'm going to apply to Cafe Hollander.
No.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work out well.
I'm inviting everyone over for a gangbang. Mommy needs to get laid.
There you go. I'm running the camera. I'm tired.
I have just been booked at the Fort Wayne Comedy Club with Ralphie Roberts.
All right.
So that is in May the 21st and 22nd.
Is
of
that the
May.
old Snickers room?
No, this is completely different. Fort Wayne. It's
Mm.
Mike Moses' room.
Mm.
I don't know if you've done it before.
I know that name, but I don't. Yeah, because I remember they had Snickers there in Fort Wayne, Indiana for years, and then that
yeah,
died.
yep. So it's great to be booked in a comedy club once again.
Absolutely.
So hey,
Absolutely.
awesome. So we're about ready.
Yeah.
All right, and remember, we're
Right.
not good enough.
You did that quick. We didn't even do our look.
Oh,
We missed share. Come on.
like and share, please like and share. And also,
Wow.
if you can find us on
We
iTunes.
That
like
goes out
share.
of bush.
Isn't that awesome?
Like that great?
share.
I
That's
love
the
that.
old share.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
find us on iTunes, and you can Spotify and pretty much anywhere that you find podcasts. And if you do any purchases, you can go to our link and then go to the Amazon link on our website.
Go to our website, offtherailstm.com. You can click the Amazon link on the top of the page and shop like normal. We get a little bit of a cut, and it doesn't cost you anything.
And then Molly and Tom know exactly what I'm buying from Amazon.
What?
Well, Tom said, "Hey, so you bought this and that?" I'm like, "Yeah, how'd
Oh,
you know that?" He
Yeah, I
goes,
don't log into that.
Yeah.
It doesn't say who bought what.
Well, he knew I bought something because I do
Just
that. I
tells you your
support
percentages.
us. I support him. All right, so
So go buy
and
something really goofy, and then we'll play a guessing game with who bought it.
thank you
All
guys
right.
for coming out. We really
Yes,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
And,
much.
So much
And thanks,
remember-
Lynn.
Yeah, of course. It was nice meeting you guys.
It'll,
You too. And
Yeah.
I'll keep stalking your babies on Grandpa's page.
Okay. Go. Yeah.
well, remember, we're not
We're
good enough.
Not good enough.